Hello folks, just me again here in beautiful downtown It's Not Hollywood with what hopefully will be the formal analysis of, or the presentation that I want to give on the use on reuse of material and the implications thereof in the shorter piano works of Sergei Prokofiev. And today, what I thought I'd do is to give a little bit more dressed up but still definitely not Hollywood, Hollywood version of my analysis of his, or what I've noticed in his Opus 65, number 12, which is called "The Moon Goes Over the Meadows." This is one of his shorter piano pieces. And I found some fairly interesting things in this, having to do with chromaticism, the Golden Mean, and the Neapolitan sixth chord, or the Neapolitan element, or the Neapolitan harmony, Neapolitan area, whichever you prefer. We'll use any and all of those here in beautiful downtown It's Not Hollywood to sort of discuss this. Okay, now. The thing lasts. This piece lasts, which, by the way, I'll leave a link to a recording that has a score that you can access on YouTube if you'd like to. I'll put that in the description along with this video. Okay, so the thing lasts 82 measures long. It's 82 measures in length. And it starts and ends in D major. And then in the middle, there's approximately 10 measures of B flat major. So D to B flat, D major to B flat major to D major again. So that's sort of the tonal scheme of it. But what I found really interesting is basically the first third of approximately up to measure 32, there's no chromaticism. There's no chromaticism until measure 32. There were no non-diatonic accidentals in this piece until measure 32, right here. And in measure 32, we get the very first accidental, the last half of the second beat of that, and it's in the left hand, and that pitch is D sharp. That's the very first accidental that we come across in this piece. And it's also interesting to note that this D sharp in the same register, the very same register, ends up here at approximately measure 80 with a D sharp respelled as E flat in the same register. So D flat and E flat are the first and last chromatic accidentals that we have in this piece. Pardon me, my computer's going to sleep. Okay, and I want to keep it, so I want to have some idea what this looks like. And it's in the same register. Okay, so there are no chromatic accidentals here until D sharp in measure 32. And then over here, as part of the final Neapolitan sixth chord, we have an E flat as well as, of course, a B flat. Now, but in the second half, there's a lot of chromaticism. There's a lot of chromaticism, particularly starting at measure 42. At measure 42, you have arpeggiated these notes in a kind of simple arpeggiation: D, B flat, D, F, B flat. Oh, so let me do that again. Sorry, I don't have, I should have my eraser here, but I don't. Hey, what do you want? It's not Hollywood. It's not Hollywood. However, it's accurate. All right, so you've got these notes at measure 42. B flat, D, F, and G sharp. B flat, D, and F sharp. In both both left and right hands of the piano. And that, of course, is, depending on how you think of it, you think of one of two ways. That, of course, spells a German 6. A German 6 in D flat, in D major. But it's also, if you respell the G sharp, a 5. I know, it's not Hollywood. It's also a 5. It's a 5/7 of E flat, or a 5/7 of the Neapolitan scale degree. Okay, now, after that, pitches. There are 3 pitches from this collection are emphasized by register. There are low left hand B flats in measure 55 and 56. 55 and 56 here and then in measures 58. In measure 58, you have simultaneously in the right hand G sharps and G naturals. G's and G sharps. In the right hand, so left hand here, right hand here. Those G's and G sharp sound sort of like this. Together. And then, after that, from measure 61 to measure 61 to measure 74, you have D pedal points. D pedals. D pedals. First is quarter notes, and then is eighth notes going on in the left hand. So quarters and eighth notes. Right? And, of course, those pitches, of course, which show up here, also relate to this. Right? So what you've got is no chromaticism in the beginning. Then you've got the lone D sharp in this whole piece, which shows up again as an E flat in the same register. And then in the last half, you get all kinds of chromaticism, and chromaticism especially having to do with the German 6 of D or the 5/7 of the Neapolitan. And that, of course, ends up in the Neapolitan. And it's especially interesting that, let me just get my black marker here, right at the golden mean of this piece, which is right about there, measure 51, is where all this is happening. So I think that's rather interesting. Something rather interesting that, get my handy dandy pointer out here. No chromaticism in the beginning. D sharp, and then a whole slew of pitches and chords, of actual arpeggiations as well as just individual notes from the German 6 or of D, the German 6 in D major of the 5/7 of Neapolitan in E flat in D happens right in there, particularly around the golden mean, and then right at the end we have a Neapolitan 6 chord going to basic Neapolitan kind of cadence. I can even play this, or sort of play it, and then those are the last 3 notes of the piece. So I think this is sort of interesting, and this kind of use of this kind of thing shows up again and again in other pieces or other short piano pieces by Prokofiev. I think there are 80 pieces in this collection that I have, the Dover scores. There are 80 of them, and I think roughly 20 work with this idea of the golden mean and the importance of the Neapolitan sixth chord in various ways. All right. So, and we'll talk about this. We'll talk about this in other pieces as well, to sort of try to give you a sense of the reuse of this particular sort of set of activities that can be recombined and reused and put together in different ways and come up with effective music. And it's also very interesting that around this time, in Russian music theory and Russian composition in general around this time, a couple of the buzzwords or important concepts were precisely the golden mean as well as the use of the Neapolitan sixth chord in various ways. Okay, so there's sort of a rough sketch of what I noticed in Opus 65, number 12. The moon goes over the moon goes over the meadows. As I said before, I will post. I'll post along with this video. I'll include a link in the description where you can find a recording of this that will go along with the score, and some indications as to where things are as the video goes by, so you can keep these things in mind. Anyway, I thought that was sort of interesting, and I think that's it for now. So long from beautiful downtown. It's not Hollywood, in beautiful downtown Bowlby. See you later. Bye.